treason of lifelong education was foretold years ago by Willard Givens, Executive Secretary of the National Education Association from 1935 to 1952. At the July 1934 annual NEA meeting, he declared, "We are convinced that we stand today at the verge of a great culture, but to achieve these things, many drastic changes must be made. A dying laissez-faire must be completely destroyed, and all of us must be subjected to a large degree of social control." What was this dying laissez-faire that needed destroying? An economic system based on minimal governmental interference, capitalism supported by individual liberty as protected under our Constitution. Although UNESCO speaks often about democracy, the capitalistic democracy of the United States is obviously held in contempt. According to the book Foundations of Lifelong Education, UNESCO has a much different brand of democracy in mind for the New World Order. The Foundations book states, "The democratic achievements of socialist countries and the democratic development in the system of planning and administration have laid the foundation of a way of life which makes everyone understand its individual relevance, so that people do not feel like a tiny cog within a wheel. Under these circumstances, the chances of the motivation leading to lifelong education are steadily increasing." Yes, the traders involved in educational restructuring believe that our capitalistic democracy lays the foundations of rivalry and aggression and encourages exaggerated consumption, making man a slave of ambition and status symbols. Perhaps that is why the Foundations book goes further to state, in socialist countries, the conditions for the realization of lifelong education are much more favorable. The social structure of these countries does not encourage the materialistic outlook because there is no opportunity for activities directed towards material success. These restraints enable the people in socialist countries to concentrate on more essential values of life, on cultural and social activities. Based on the same kind of democracy inspired by the Little Red Book of China's former chairman Mao, the lifelong education model shall restructure our schools for the advent of the New World Order by destroying our constitutionally protected liberties. According to Black's Law Dictionary, entered as Exhibit number 66, the liberty guaranteed and protected by constitutional provisions denotes not only freedom from unauthorized physical restraint, but embraces also the freedom of an individual to use and enjoy his faculties in all lawful ways, acquire useful knowledge, and bring up children, engage in any of the common and lawful occupations of life, and generally to enjoy those privileges long recognized at common law as essential to the orderly pursuit of happiness by free people. The first item to go under lifelong education is individualism, the liberty to be whatever a person perceives himself to be. It is replaced with group dependency, as previously shown in the evidence on institutional child abuse. In promoting socialism, the model shall restructure life for all people. In UNESCO's Foundations of Lifelong Education, among the philosophical aspects of lifelong education, it is written, "If we accept the ideas of lifelong education, we should also accept one particular mode of life. The model replaces liberty with equality, but equal in socialist countries means that everyone will be the same." Again, in the Foundations book, we find that lifelong education promotes equality of end result and not merely of opportunity. No person has the liberty to be better or worse than another. Further, it is stated that lifelong education seeks to foster equality in terms of opinions, aspirations, motivations, and so on. Can there be any doubt that these traitors wish to destroy the rugged individualism that is the cornerstone of American liberty? The second liberty to be destroyed under the programs of UNESCO's lifelong education is the use and enjoyment of one's faculties. Again, quoting from Foundations of Lifelong Education, "The educational process will no longer be associated with schooling and book learning, and with merely intellectual faculties. The entire UNESCO thrust towards functional literacy through the neglect of solid instruction in the academic disciplines limits the child's capacity for reasoning, problem solving, and critical analysis. In practical terms, the liberty to use one's faculties is destroyed because the faculties themselves are destroyed. Thus limited, the person's liberty to acquire useful knowledge is devastated. As already shown, lifelong education supplants the acquisition of knowledge with educability and learning to learn. Curriculum based on the academics is scrapped for integrated classes centered on controversial issues and complex life roles. The neo-behavioristic Skinnerian conditioning process of transformational outcome-based education trains children like rats in the behaviors necessary to functioning in the New World Order, depriving them of the liberty to acquire knowledge.